Okay, so with this stretch, what we're focused on is keeping our foot and our toes down on the ground, but then we're going to shift our knee over our toes. Then we're going to let our heel lift, and you're going to feel a big stretch deep in your calf, down towards your Achilles tendon. And this is going to stretch our calf, our gastroc, our soleus, and even our toe flexors. So what you can do is you can actually take your knee even more forward, let your toes go into extension, and then you can feel a nice deep stretch through here. You can change the angle a little bit. So how far forward do you go? How much weight do you put into your toes? What is the angle of your knee in relation to your toes? But really focus on feeling a nice deep stretch down here in the lower. Okay, so with this exercise, we are doing a calf stretch. We have wall support, but we're modifying it a little bit in two different ways. Number one, we're getting the knee bent, so we're focused on the soleus, but then part two, we're making it 3-dimension. So we're not just going straight ahead, back and forth. We're actually going to work in a little bit of different motions where I go at 12 o'clock, then I go at kind of 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to work my way to like 10:30, 11 o'clock. And there's a reason why. So the calf muscle, the way that the muscle fibers are oriented, they're all in different directions. So if I just work my way back and forward, I'm not stretching all those muscle fibers. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't try to stretch the calf in different directions. And when you do this stretch, you'll notice that when you move forward.
So we're going to go against the wall, you're going to put your foot up on it, and we're going to start ourselves with our big toe being stretched, all the tissues underneath being stretched. Now what we're going to do is you're going to tighten up your knee, and we're going to dynamically rock forward until I feel a stretch, hold for a couple seconds, and rock back. I don't feel a stretch here. And you're going to be going back and forth, dynamically stretching your calf and everything below the foot. Now that setup in the beginning is the key, which is what makes this one different than a normal calf stretch, is we're putting our foot on here and we're starting with the big toe being bent back and all the tissues underneath. Now if you start pretty low, like in this one, I may be able to go forward and I barely feel a stretch here. I do feel a stretch, but if you're going forward, you're like, oh, I don't really feel a stretch, you need to start your foot higher up on the wall. So I'm going to start with myself even higher, more stretch in the big toe, more stretch in the ankle. And now when I come up, my knee straight, I already feel a really good stretch, and I'm only able to go forward a little bit and then back. So you're just going to rock.
So for this mobilization, I have a lacrosse ball here. I'm putting it underneath my calves, and then I'm allowing my calves to put pressure into that lacrosse ball to perform that mobilization. So I have the option of going the inside, the outside, or just the back of the calves, and I can go side to side here. If I find a spot I want to work on, like right there, I can go side to side. I can go up and down. I can use my arms to help myself go up and down. And I can also do the pin and stretch technique where I have a spot, let's say this is the spot here, and I'm moving my ankle up and down, up and down. So now when I pin that tissue, I'm moving my ankle, that tensions the tissue underneath where I have the lacrosse ball on top of. And then work within your tolerance. Now if this is too easy, and maybe this is not enough pressure, feel free to even use the other leg. This other leg can provide some additional pressure into that